March 14, 2023. San Francisco, California. A small team at a leading AI lab pushes a new engine into production. Nobody in the office claps. Nobody knows yet what they've just shipped. This is how it unfolded. 3 years later, the tools built on that release aren't writing emails anymore. They're running meetings. They're closing contracts. They're making decisions that used to require a person with a title and a badge. The question in every boardroom by 2030 isn't whether AI takes jobs. It's which jobs are left standing when it's done. Start with the tools doing it. One AI engine drafts strategy memos in under a minute. Another reviews 100-page contracts and flags the clauses a junior lawyer would miss. A third reads a company's entire email archive and summarizes 3 years of decisions in a single paragraph. A coding-focused engine writes the code before the developer finishes the sentence describing it. And behind all of them, a newer layer is forming: AI agents. Not tools that answer questions. Systems that complete tasks end-to-end, without a human clicking next. Book the flight. File the report. Negotiate the vendor discount. Robotics is catching up too, moving from warehouses into offices, one automated desk at a time. The change isn't coming. It's already logged in payroll systems. Customer support tickets that used to route to a call center now get resolved by a chatbot before a human ever sees them. Data entry, the kind of work that filled entire departments in the 1990s, is functionally extinct in any company that updated its software in the last 2 years. Copywriting agencies that once billed by the word now bill by the prompt. Junior graphic designers compete with a tool that generates 50 concepts in the time it takes to open a sketchbook. QA testers watch automated test suites run overnight and flag bugs before the office opens. Junior developers, who used to learn by fixing typos in someone else's code, find less of that work to learn on. Recruiters watch AI scan 10,000 resumes in the time it took to read 10. Here's why these roles are the first to go. They share one trait: the work is repeatable, the inputs are structured, and the output can be checked against a rule. If a task can be described in a checklist, it can be trained into a model. Entry-level roles are disproportionately built from exactly this kind of task. That's not a coincidence. That's the design. Look closer at why each one falls. Customer support collapses because 90% of tickets are the same 5 questions asked a different way, and a model never gets tired of answering them. Data entry collapses because the job was translation, moving information from one format to another, and that's the easiest thing for a language model to do. Copywriting collapses at the volume level first. Not the best writer loses work, but the 1,000 mediocre ones producing filler content nobody reads. Graphic design loses its bottom layer, logo mockups and social templates, while the top layer, the designer who understands a brand's identity, holds steady. QA testing collapses because bugs are pattern matching problems, and pattern matching is the one thing these systems were built to do first. Junior developers and recruiters collapse for the same underlying reason. Both jobs were built as a filter, sorting through large volumes of raw material to find the good parts, and a model filters faster, cheaper, and without needing sleep. But not every job collapses into a checklist. Some roles survive because the work is about judgment, not repetition. AI architects, the people who decide how these systems get built and where they're allowed to touch a business, are in more demand, not less. Cybersecurity holds, because every new system is a new attack surface, and someone has to defend it. Software architects survive, because writing code is now cheap, but deciding what should be built, and why, still isn't. Product managers survive for the same reason. AI engineers, the people training and fine-tuning these models, are some of the highest paid workers on the planet by 2026. Cloud engineers keep the infrastructure running underneath all of it. Technical consultants survive because companies don't just need the tool. They need someone to tell them how to use it without breaking what already works. Notice what these 7 roles share. None can be fully specified in advance. An AI architect has to weigh trade-offs a checklist can't anticipate. A cybersecurity expert defends against attacks that haven't been invented yet. A product manager has to decide what customers will want next year, not what they wanted last year. These jobs survive not because they're harder technically, but because they require someone accountable for a decision made under uncertainty, and a model can't be held accountable for anything. The skill that separates the two groups isn't intelligence. It's what you bring that the model can't. Prompt engineering matters, but it's a shrinking moat, since the models keep getting better at understanding plain language. Cloud literacy matters more, because that's where the systems actually live. Automation skills matter, because the people who design the pipelines outlast those who used to do the manual steps inside them. Leadership matters, because someone has to decide what the AI should never be allowed to do. And critical thinking matters most of all, because the one thing a model cannot do is tell you whether the question you asked was the right one. Picture the workflow already running inside companies that adapted early. A human sets the goal. One AI engine drafts the plan. A second, coding-focused engine writes the implementation. A third reviews it, checks it against the company's own standards, flags what's missing. The system runs its own tests. It deploys. A human signs off at the start and the end. Everything in between used to be 5 people's job. Now it's one person's afternoon. The team that used to need a project manager, 2 developers, a QA tester, and a copywriter now needs one person fluent in all 4 roles at once, directing a chain of tools instead of a chain of employees. That's the actual shape of the labor market forming underneath the headlines. Fewer seats, and each seat covering 5 times the ground it used to. So what happens next? By 2027, most large companies will have replaced their entry-level knowledge work almost entirely. The first-year analyst job, as it existed in 2020, mostly stops existing. Hiring pipelines for graduates shrink first, not because they're less capable, but because the tasks companies used to hand them no longer need a person at all. By 2030, a widely cited estimate puts the number at 80% of office tasks touched by AI in some form, not eliminated outright, but reshaped so completely that the human role inside them is unrecognizable. A marketing department that used to have 12 people now has 3, plus a system doing the rest. By 2035, the jobs left are the ones nobody in 2023 thought to worry about, the ones built entirely around judgment, trust, and responsibility for outcomes a machine can't be blamed for. Regulation, oddly, becomes a growth industry, since every country with an economy has to decide, case by case, what a machine is legally allowed to decide on its own. There's a pattern in every industry that automation has ever touched. The people who competed directly with the machine lost. The people who learned to run it won. That was true of the loom. It was true of the assembly line. It's true again now, just faster, and this time it's coming for people who assumed a college degree made them exempt. The advice, then, is simple to say and hard to do. Don't compete with the tool. Learn to direct it. The office of 2030 won't be empty. It'll just be smaller, and everyone left in it will be the person giving the instructions, not the one who used to carry them out. Which raises the harder question, the one most people avoid answering out loud. If the checklist jobs are gone by 2030, and the judgment jobs only have room for a fraction of the people who used to fill the checklist jobs, where exactly does everyone else go? Nobody in that boardroom in 2023 had an answer. Nobody has one now.